So welcome everyone to the October meeting of the Montana Accessibility Interest Group. We're really fortunate today to have John Rempel and Janet Sylvia with us from, see if I can remember the title of this, AMAC Accessibility Solutions and Research Center in Georgia. John has extensive experience as an AT specialist, a vision rehabilitation specialist, an orientation and mobility specialist for individuals with vision loss. John assesses individual needs, develops training materials, and provides quality control for the training materials and online assistive technology offerings. And John does a lot more than that. John's just got extensive background in that area. Janet, on the other hand, is the WAG coordinator and accessibility specialist at AMAC. So she's really working in the field of accessible web design. She provides web accessibility consultation and training for higher education personnel in the university system of Georgia, which is very large, and throughout the United States. She has experience and expertise in accessibility in higher education, accessible online courses, Section 508, and the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG. So both of them have very, very extensive backgrounds in two different fields. They're both working at AMAC, and we're just very, very pleased to have you here today. So John, I believe you're up first, so I will turn it over to you. Let me also just mention, John, before you start, John and Janet would prefer that you reserve your questions for the end. You're welcome to kind of queue them up in the chat, but we'll provide time at the end for questions. So if you can hold those, that will be great. So John, I will turn it over to you now.
Okay, thank you so much, Marlene. It's an honor to be presenting here and to be presenting with Janet Sylvia as well. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Janet Sylvia, so she's going to add complement to this webinar in a tremendous way. So let's go ahead and start with AMAC, Accessibility Solutions and Research Center. Take some broad strokes here, and then I'm going to drill down in a little more detail as far as what we provide. So AMAC Accessibility is a social change organization on a mission to create affordable services for educational, government, private, and nonprofit organizations working with individuals with disabilities. And I'm going to, like I said, go into a little more detail. We were just discussing before the webinar started of AMAC's humble beginnings 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary with a big staff party last Friday. And I wish Janet could have joined us, but it was a lot of fun, and we're very proud of where primarily Dr. Lee has brought us in the last 10 years. So AMAC was created in 2006 as an initiative of the Board of Regents University System of Georgia to help post-secondary disability services offices provide complete, timely, and efficient accommodations to the students with print disabilities that they serve. As Janet mentioned earlier, AMAC began in Athens, Georgia in a dorm room, and really what they were focusing on was primarily creating accessible content. So a lot of chopping of bindings off books, scanning in books, and then marking them up accordingly. And we've come so far in the last 10 years. We're now under the with Georgia Tech, under the College of Design. It used to be called College of Architecture. This just changed recently, about half a year ago or so. We now occupy 3 floors of a 4-story building, and we share space with CATIA, which is the Center for Assistive Technology and Environmental Access. And I thought this would be an interesting fact. The building we're in used to be a candy factory in the 1920s, so we have a bit of history there. It's actually a really beautiful building we're in, and we're very fortunate to be housed here. Currently, we have just a little more than 50 employees with AMAC, and we're certainly going to be growing much more than that in the next few years. So a few things that we offer here, which I'll be getting into more detail with, is promoting publisher accessibility through national initiatives, accessible document conversion to electronic audio or braille formats, specialized assistive technology software, accessible videos through captions and audio descriptions, including remote real-time captioning, and office management software development and deployment, and web accessibility initiatives. I'm going to begin with eText. So there's multiple formats that our eText production team is able to provide for students and other agencies. And PDF is one of the most popular. So PDF files that retain the same layout as a print textbook and include bookmarks for navigation, synchronized highlighting of text, which can be read aloud by screen readers. Students can easily magnify the text or change color contrast options. Images do not have alt text descriptions unless they're specifically requesting PDF with that. Very often for screen reader users, we produce Microsoft Word documents. A little more user-friendly, a little more versatility with Word documents. So docs are best for students who are using screen reading technology. 3 levels of headings and page numbers are provided. Reading order is determined. All text descriptions are provided for images with educational content. And DAISY format. So DAISY files are read by Dolphin Easy Reader, which has a wide range of voices. These files have 3 levels of headings, correct reading order, and all text descriptions are provided for images for educational content. Educational institutions will very often use PowerPoint as well. So there's a lot of remediation that takes place with PowerPoint presentations to make sure that they're accessible. We also provide HTML. Again, 3 levels of headings that provide navigation, reading order is determined, and alt text descriptions are provided. MathML, we are one of the only agencies in the country that provide MathML. It stands for Math Markup Language. So Math Markup files include all the features of our accessible HTML files, plus all equations and symbols are all pronounced according to MathSpeak guidelines. So when a screen reader accesses complex equations in its native state, the screen reader will not translate all of that information accurately. So there really needs to be additional markup, and it's a very specialized skill that requires a lot of expertise. Audiobooks, so books are downloaded and read with Learning Ally software. These files are audio only, but are read aloud with human narration. Captioning and described media, we could probably present on this for a full hour, but this is just a real quick snapshot of some of the services we provide. Real-time remote CPrint captioning. So CPrint captioning refers to the software that's used for real-time captioning. So we do a lot of captioning, real-time captioning educationally for students who are actually in classes and who need that real-time captioning. We certainly provide that. All our webinars are also captioned as well in real time. And so we also provide communication access real-time translation, or known as CART. So if you think of the stenographers in a courtroom, it's very similar to the technology that's used with CART. Transcription services, typically this is done in a Word document. So videos that may need additional transcripts added to them, we can certainly do that. And then video captioning for both open and closed captioning. And the difference with those are open captions are captions in which the text is actually burnt into the video itself, so they can't be turned off, they're permanently turned on. And for instances where people prefer to turn them on or off, we also provide closed captioning. Audio description, some of you will be aware of what this is. It's really the target audience here is individuals who are low vision and blind who may not have access to a lot of the visual cues that are available within video content. And audio description simply is a kind of a voiceover that allows that additional content, visual content, to be relayed in an audio format. Braille services. So we have one of the largest Braille services in the country, and we provide a number of services in this area: partial books and chapters, foreign language, music, Nemeth code, Braille transcription, tactile maps, and then cutting edge technology. We have some of the largest embossers in the world. In fact, one of the embossers we had to order from Norway. Very expensive equipment, but the mass production that we have with some of our contracts include National Library Services. We really need embossers that can handle that kind of workload. And so we really believe in the reuse model. It can cost upwards of $30,000 to transcribe a larger book into Braille. And if that brailled book can be repurposed, that can save a tremendous amount of money. So we really promote that and try to do that as much as possible. And then we also, to reduce costs, we partner with the Braille prison programs. And there's a number of advantages to this. Obviously, it'll lower the production cost. It provides prisoners with employable skill sets, and it also reduces recidivism rate. They're provided with a highly specialized skill set, and for prisoners who are re-entering society, it certainly will give them some employment skills and job security. All right, the Student Center. So this is fairly comprehensive. This small list I have in front of you doesn't really do it justice, but this is access to accessible textbooks, assistive technology, and captioned media. This is for AMAC members. So it provides access to an online portal. So the Student Center team works very closely with the direct service providers, also known as DDs, and we provide email notifications when orders are ready for download and viewing. We provide guides and video tutorials for using the assistive technology. And some of the assistive technology that is provided include text-to-speech software programs for both PC and Mac, some of which include ClaraRead, Read and Write Gold, Premier Literacy, and Dolphin Easy Reader, and then a number of apps for mobile devices as well. Webinars and training sessions are offered for both students and staff members, and online system for placing orders is also available. And then there's also technical assistance provided in multiple ways, whether it's phone, email, or through an online system. So Access Text Network, also known as ATN. This is a member exchange network that facilitates and supports the nationwide delivery of alternative files for students with diagnosed print-related disabilities. And it represents the national nucleus for post-secondary distribution for approved alternative textbook file exchanges, excuse me, training and technical support. And post-secondary members can request files and permissions from leading publishers with one simple form. All post-secondary institutions in the United States and Canada are eligible to join at no cost. So this really speeds up the process for students who are registered for classes who need to have that textbook or material in an accessible format. The Student Accommodation Management System, also known as SAM. This is a web-based application, or think of it as a database that creates electronic records. It's similar to a medical record for doctor's office, and it's highly customizable to an educational institution's needs and goals. So direct service providers better able to manage and report activities of students with disabilities. So once again, it's a database that represents a repository of the tracking of needs and accommodations for individual students, so that faculty and staff don't need to hunt down these types of materials in many different locations. It's all located in one spot. And then privacy and data security is maintained and is extremely important under the Office of Civil Rights. And it's used by more than 50 colleges and universities across the country. Tools for Life. So part of the equation, as we all know about accessibility, is ensuring that websites are accessible, ensuring that documents are accessible. The other part of that equation is the assistive technology that allows access to websites and documents and other electronic information. So that's where Tools for Life plays an extremely important part. So the world around us is evolving at an astounding rate. Assistive technology developments have been foundational in this evolution and a catalyst for producing positive, life-changing results for individuals with disabilities. Now, keep in mind, as I talk about Tools for Life, it's not just education. We're talking children, youngsters, adults, seniors, everyone who can benefit from these services. So Tools for Life does a lot of work nationally, but a lot of what they do is also statewide here. So they are they're a recipient of the Assistive Technology Act program here in Georgia, and they move from evaluation into action plans. So that initial assessment and evaluation is extremely important. They have hundreds of different assistive technology solutions that they can test on and demonstrate and evaluate with. So that initial evaluation is really crucial in order to determine what the needs and goals are for individuals, and helping them to better understand what the assistive technology can do for them. And this is their phrase here, not mine, and I think it's a good one: using low/light tech to inform mid/high tech solutions. And then another area that they focus on as well, and they've been called as subject matter experts to have input in, is a lot of solutions, both mainstream as well as proprietary assistive technology solutions. As subject matter experts, they're often our team is often asked to have input on what works best. So if you think along the lines of beta testing products that may not have been released, or ways in which current products on the market can be improved. And it's very important as technology changes so rapidly to have some of the latest and greatest. An example is the rapid movement toward eye gaze technology, which we're following very, very closely. And it's important to have the relevant and current technology available that will best meet the needs of people with disabilities. So on the screen is a map of Georgia illustrating a number of different partnerships with the Tools for Life network within Georgia. But keep in mind, they provide services and webinars and information to individuals way beyond the borders of Georgia. And Tools for Life, I really have to give them kudos. They're very much interested in a win-win philosophy of, we have a lot to offer other agencies, other states, other countries even, and it's a win-win if we can share our resources and strengthen us all with what we have to share and bring to the table. There are a few funding solutions here. One of them, and this is specific to Georgia, is called Dollars and Cents. It's a web-based funding guide. It's a resource for locating funding sources for assistive technology devices and services. G-Trade is a free resource finding and exchanging assistive technology devices online. So a person can place an ad requesting items for sale, donation, or items that they may be needing specifically. Credit Able, Georgia's alternative financing program. So this is a low interest loan opportunity for individuals with disabilities who are interested in acquiring assistive technology, but there may not be funding sources that could cover it. I've worked closely with Credit Able in the past, and for individuals with who have a low income and may not have built up a great credit rating, for instance, they're very understanding of that, and it's a great long-term way to secure that assistive technology for individuals with disabilities while providing reasonable payment options for them. Access GA. So this is really something that I think AMAC should be very proud of. It first began in 2012, and it represents a joint initiative of the State of Georgia's ADA Coordinator's Office, AMAC Accessibility Solutions at Georgia Tech, and the Georgia Technology Authority, also known as GTA. So we've worked very closely with GTA, and they oversee over 80 agencies within the state of Georgia, state agencies. And one of the deliverables for Access GA was for AMAC to review about a dozen of the templates that are used with these 80 or so agencies. And through GTA, what we did is we remediated these dozen or so templates, reviewed them along the lines of WCAG 2.0 level AA, and ensured that they were accessible so that when these other agencies adopt these templates, it's going to provide a much more accessible experience for people with disabilities. And partially because of this, but also because of the great work that GTA has done, as of September, they received an award from NASCIO. NASCIO is a National Association for State CIOs, and they received an award specifically for their initiatives in the area of ICT accessibility, which is very exciting, and we're very proud to have been a part of that success. All right, so Access GA trainings. We provide a number of different services under Access GA. It's specifically targeting state agencies within Georgia. We provide webinars similar to this, actually, and sometimes rely on local talent, talent from AMAC, statewide. We'll also pull in national and international talent on subject matter experts specifically related to information and communication technology. We provide on-site trainings. An example of this is recently we worked with Department of Natural Resources here in Georgia. They have upwards of 1,500 employees, one of the largest agencies in Georgia, and we provided some on-site training on accessible document creation and remediation. We also provide training in disability awareness and web accessibility as well. All right, so the website to Access GA is simply www.accessga.org, and it's a plethora of information that is available, freely available, and certainly can be distributed to anyone who finds it useful. It's a repository of presentations, training, and disability awareness, resources and trainings on content remediation. So all of the webinars that we provide through Access GA are all archived and readily available on our site. Resources related to ICT accessibility in the law, so we keep fairly close tabs on settlements, specifically with Department of Justice, settlements that may be of interest to not only state agencies, but educational institutions as well, and then archived newsletters. Now, the web audits that we carry out, as mentioned earlier, we really stress that agencies and educational institutions really move toward WCAG 2.0, level AA. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but as most of you probably are aware, Section 508 is in the process of being updated, and it's going to be closely harmonized with WCAG 2.0 level AA. WCAG is internationally known and recognized and respected as a robust standard to follow. It's not perfect, but it clearly a lot of time has been dedicated to it, and it more accurately reflects the needs of individuals with disability than Section 508 does. It's also more cost effective if you're going to update your website and meet a compliance level. There's no point in just going with 508 and then a year or two from now having to update that again to WCAG 2.0. It's really not cost efficient. So when we do our web audits, we do a combination of user testing. We use multiple screen readers, NVDA, JAWS, sometimes VoiceOver. We'll use mobile devices as well for testing. And then we'll do some pretty extensive code inspection as well, and provide some remediation solutions on the specific code. And then something we've done more recently is providing MP4 videos. So actually providing a video of how assistive technology does or does not access their specific website. So that old saying, seeing is believing, well, seeing and hearing is believing, especially if it's in a video format that clearly shows how, for example, someone who's blind is not able to access a specific control on the site. We also provide a technical assistance through email, in-person, and conference calls. And when we do web audits, we very often do two web audits. The first one is the initial sweep, flagging issues that really need to be remediated. The second one is after giving the agency or institution the opportunity to make those changes, and then we'll go back and ensure that those changes have been implemented successfully. And if not, we will flag them and give additional information on how they can be implemented, and then cover any other additional accessibility issues. So the screen now is I have displayed a screenshot of Access GA, and this is the home page. At the top, you'll see the link tabs: events, legal, archived webinars, etc. Feel free if you choose to sign up for our newsletter. It's right on the front page here. You can just type in your email address and click submit, and you will be signed up for our newsletter. Now, one other thing we're very, very proud of here is our MOOC, our ICT Accessibility MOOC. And for those who aren't familiar with MOOCs, it stands for Massive Open Online Course. And there are a couple of other MOOCs available, but this is one of the only kind available specifically addressing ICT accessibility. Now, there's a number of different contributors to this. The bulk of the contributors were AMAC staff. And then we had, outside of AMAC, within Georgia Tech, we also had a number of contributors as well. We also partnered with G3 ICT, and we used the edX platform. I'll quickly talk about this. The MOOC, our MOOC was actually available late 2014, I believe. And one of the reasons why we held off on launching it was because the platforms were not accessible. As some of you may be aware, edX actually had a settlement with Department of Justice to make their platform accessible. So in very short order, edX actually did a really good job of making their platform accessible. So our MOOC was actually launched in February of last year. And it would have been mixed messages, to say the least, for us to launch an ICT accessibility MOOC on an inaccessible platform. So the edX platform is not perfect, but it certainly is light years ahead of what it used to be. and by far superior to other platforms that we tested. All right, so other contributors included subject matter experts in the field that we consulted with for the MOOC, as well as individuals with disabilities who gave firsthand experience of some of their struggles and successes related to using assistive technology and accessing accessible content. Now, I thought this would be really interesting for people to hear about. This is probably about a month old or so, but these stats are going to be pretty close. Currently, we have over 160 countries who have registered for the MOOC, and well over 3,000 individuals who have enrolled in it. And very quickly, I just wanted to talk about the countries who have enrolled the most. The United States at 24.2%. This is interesting. India at 10%. And an unknown country, they didn't specify, at 5.6%. The UK at 3.7%. And Nigeria at 3.4%. And then it gets smaller from there. But I found that breakdown to be quite interesting, and I thought some of you would find that of interest. So course goals, really the MOOC is offered to a wide target audience: educational institutions, state agencies, for-profit, non-profit, industry. So the MOOC summarizes the foundations of ICT accessibility. It summarizes the principles of accessible ICT design. It identifies the use of assistive technology, creates accessible documents and multimedia, evaluates and repairs websites for accessibility, identifies components of ICT accessibility operations. There are 6 modules to the MOOC. If a person chooses to select one over the other, that would work. We would strongly recommend going through all 6 modules, but it certainly isn't necessary. You know, we know that time is of the essence, and people, especially in work environments, have limited time. So if there's a specific module that's of interest to individuals, they can certainly focus on that one module. I provided a quick breakdown here of the different modules. Module 1, ICT accessibility, background information on ICT accessibility and the future of electronic information accessibility. Module 2 addresses accessibility design, so the importance of design in accessibility, the value of container and content, and the evaluation of compliance. And then assistive technology solutions in Module 3. And Tools for Life, which I mentioned earlier, has had a huge part in this, demonstrating assistive technology solutions. There's some great videos that are available that demonstrates various solutions. They also talked about federal laws related to assistive technology, definitions of mainstream technology, and assistive technology demonstrations, as I mentioned through the videos. Module 4 talks about accessible documents and multimedia. So this MOOC is categorized at more of an introductory level, but some of these modules go into quite a detail, and this is one of them, the accessible documents and multimedia. So for individuals who have no knowledge of how to make accessible PDFs and Word documents, PowerPoint presentations, this module will be very, very helpful in understanding some of the basics in creating those accessible documents. Module 5 is about web accessibility evaluations and design. So web accessibility definition and overview, understanding interaction of web and users with accessibility needs, evaluating accessibility issues via online tools, remediation of code in order to achieve website accessibility. And then it goes into some solutions that are available through HTML5 and also ARIA. And Module 6, this is more about the ICT accessibility roadmap. So the influence of market forces on the development of enterprise ICT accessibility operations, challenges faced by these enterprises, enterprise ICT accessibility operational model, and how it can sustain enterprise accessibility. All right, and course requirements. So each module consists of video lessons, activities, forum discussions, quizzes, and each module takes approximately 2 to 4 hours to complete. It's self-paced, and it's free of charge. If you do want a certification, that's $49. We also provide CEUs for the MOOC through Georgia Tech as well, and that's a cost of $50. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have at the end of this webinar. Right now, I will pass it on to Janet Sylvia.
Okay, great. Thank you, John. That was always so interesting. Even though I also work at AMAC, I love to hear about all the great things that AMAC is doing. So I'm Sylvia. I am with the Web Accessibility Group. Our acronym is WAG, W-A-G, and we are the Web Accessibility Group for Higher Education. And I am the original founder and WAG coordinator and accessibility specialist. I'd like to give you a little background about WAG. We began in May 2011 at the University of Georgia, and we transitioned in 2015 to AMAC on the Georgia Tech campus in Atlanta. Our purpose is to bring together individuals at the campus level and throughout our university system who are seeking to comply with web accessibility guidelines on their own. It is a first of its kind endeavor to provide a place to discuss web accessibility compliance and techniques. People can ask questions, share lessons learned and best practices, and they can also request and receive training. So for us, this type of endeavor did not exist at either the university or the system level. So to begin, we needed to get support for what we were doing. And the first person I spoke to was the director of our Equal Opportunity Office. He is also the section and the ADA compliance officer, and he was always very concerned about accessibility of web-based content. And from there, I had also spoken with my director and the dean of my college. At the time, my title was a digital media professional, and in this role, it included providing web accessibility training and consultation for website designers and faculty in my college, but not for the entire campus and certainly not for the entire university system. But we did quickly receive approval from my director and our dean to go forth with the WAG endeavor. And so the next group I contacted was Enterprise Information and Technology Services, and it's EITS. And this is the centralized computing group on campus, and they provide assistance with anything to do with websites and online courses. And so WAG really needed and received their endorsement to get started as well. So we began with 14 founding members, and I was the leader, and two members from EITS were my co-leaders. And then we invited others. We sat down and came up with a list of people on campus we wanted to include as founding members. One was the assistant director of the Equal Opportunity Office. She is a compliance officer, and she has expertise in accessible ICT. And we also invited a representative from our Disability Services office. They were avid supporters of helping us establish this group on our campus. And then we chose other campus web leaders. These were people who were considered to be leaders in web-related services in their individual colleges at our university, both large and small colleges. And then finally, we also included a representative from the University System of Georgia. He was the Director of Web and Informational Services, because we immediately wanted to expand WAG beyond our UGA, University of Georgia campus, to include individuals at statewide universities throughout our system, and we were able to do so with his assistance. So we came up with the direction, our founding members, the direction that we determined would be best for our group. We decided we wanted a listserv, a website, to conduct monthly meetings and special events, and to also have a spotlight. And I'd like to go through each of these benefits that we have. We have a WAG listserv. It's all are welcome to join. It's free. Once you join our listserv, we consider you a member of WAG. We currently have 265 members throughout our state, national, and international members. Members are from colleges and universities, but we also have members from the private sector who have found us online, attended some of our trainings, and they are also welcome to join WAG. Anyone who's interested in web accessibility is welcome in our group. Our member profiles are very interesting. We have a wide variety of members, accessibility specialists, compliance officers. We have directors of online learning and directors of disability services, and then the disability service professionals, faculty, instructors, and instructional designers. We also have IT managers, programmers, website designers, and developers. So we have a very diverse group of members. For our WAG website, it does include an array of resources for both newcomers and advanced learners. A few of our features, and over here on our menu bar, we've got accessibility, definition, laws, and guidelines, handouts from in-person training events. People who could not travel across state to attend an in-person event, we make sure to post all of the handouts and resources here to make sure they can access them as well. Information from our monthly meetings. We provide the recording links and resources from our presenters. We have other resource links for Section 508, WCAG 2.0, and other accessibility policies, and links to tools and checkers. For our WAG monthly meetings, we meet every month, except because we are higher education, we don't meet in January because everyone's just returning from holiday breaks, and we don't meet in August because it's the beginning of fall semester for most of us, and it's a very busy time. But otherwise, we meet every month. Our topics are member-driven because we have a variety of members. We want to make sure that we have meetings that meet their needs. And so we have topics on academics and online course accessibility. And the next month we'll have a seminar on something to do with websites and web-based applications. And beginning in December, we'll have our first webinar on accessible procurement. Our monthly meetings are announced on our listserv through a number of listservs, some AMAC listservs, the WAG listserv, other listservs for our university system, on our website, and through different social media channels. And they are also recorded, and we provide those resource links on our website. So as I mentioned, we provide the information on our website. If you select the monthly meetings link, we have all of our meetings for 2016, and then also from last year, 2015, and you're welcome to access any of those recordings if you're interested in any of those trainings. We do have 2 upcoming meetings, and that if you're interested, you are welcome to join the WAG listserv. You'll receive the login link to attend the meetings. In November, we'll be talking about our USG statewide accessibility symposium for administrators. And then again in December, as I mentioned, we will have our session on accessible procurement. And to join the WAG listserv, Marlene has shared our website link, and the information is on the listserv page, and essentially it directs you to send an email to WAG, W-A-G, at amac.gatech.edu, and you just join our listserv and you'll receive information about our meetings. So WAG also conducts special events, and these are in-person training and awareness events. We have participated several years in Global Accessibility Awareness Day. The acronym is GAD, G-A-A-D, and our events have been open to the public, and so they're then featured on the International GAD website. Our past topics have been designing websites for all users, and we also one year conducted accessibility checks. So we had laptops and we would visit the websites of attendees and do a free cursory automated and manual check to let them know how they were doing. Because the Global Accessibility Awareness Day falls during the academic calendar during a break, we conducted Georgia Accessibility Awareness Day so that we could reach faculty. And so our event the first year was for accessibility considerations for online courses, so we could reach faculty and instructional designers. Then we also have customized training events, in-person events that are requested. We've had over 500 attendees at all of these special events, and so they've been a great success for us. And our upcoming event on November 1st will be a statewide accessibility symposium for administrators. And as I mentioned on the WAG meeting on November 2nd, we'll be talking about how that event went. We also have what we call the WAG Spotlight, and this is where we highlight and recognize the work that's being done by our members. WAG members can nominate a future spotlight, and we just received a new nomination, and we'll be announcing a new spotlight in 2 weeks that will feature a faculty member that has made an online course accessible for foreign language students. And we also have our current and former spotlight, individuals or groups, and one was Adele Frank with the Georgia Institute of Technology, and she talks about how she has become an accessibility champion in her own right and written some accessibility manuals. We've also featured at Georgia Gwinnett College their entire web team for great work that they did writing accessibility manuals and then also designing an accessibility portal for their faculty and staff. And we highlighted Kennesaw State University, their distance learning center, and the great things they were doing to help ensure online courses are accessible. So the last thing I'd like to do today is to go through some of our member accomplishments. Many of our members, as I mentioned, have just become accessibility champions in their own right. Most are people who started with us 5 years ago who were not familiar with web accessibility. And during their time with WAG, they've advanced their expertise, and now they too have become web accessibility trainers in their own department and college. A number of them conduct training events. As I mentioned, they have written web accessibility manuals, tutorials, and portals. Centralized resources are great, and that's what we provide on the WAG website, but it's also important for personnel at a specific university to receive information from experts at their home institution, something that's customized to their university, and so we've had a number of folks who have done that. So one group utilized a WAG webinar and turned it into a required training for their online faculty. And if their faculty wanted to teach online, there were a number of modules they had to go through for a learning experience, and one of them was web accessibility. So they were required to watch this 2-hour training and then take and pass a quiz on the content in the training. And the second half of that 2-hour webinar was a live demo creating an accessible Word and PDF documents. And so the potential online teaching faculty were required to create an accessible syllabus and some sample course content based on that webinar and turn them in and be sure that they could create accessible content before they taught online. So this was an incredibly innovative use of a previous WAG webinar. Another person who is a programmer designed a database so that when personnel submit content for web-based publication, if it contains, for example, an audio-video component, they now have required fields where they have to check and include the caption file, the text transcript, and the video transcript, or the database will not allow them to upload that content. So that was a great thing that our program, one of the programmers has done. We also have a publications team that converted over 500 print-based publications to accessible HTML and posted those and created a web-based database of publications. And then we also have a number of faculty who have incorporated web accessibility into the academic course curriculum. Sometimes entire classroom lectures are devoted to the topic, and others have required that student projects from the course be accessible when they're turned in and they're graded on that content. Another group changed their grant submission requirements for their college, and they have a pre-check, and they have to go through an IT accessibility group. So if the content in the grant proposal contains audio, video, or other type of web-based content, they're required to add a line item to cover the cost of making that content accessible so that the cost is absorbed by the grant funding and not later or after the fact by the individual department. And then WAG members have conducted local GAD events, and this was wonderful. They post flyers, they have campus-wide discussions, and lots of things that people have done locally to celebrate GAD, and most of them will put an announcement on their college homepage. GAD takes place in May of every year, international event, and they provide great information on their website, and the web designers just pop it into an announcement on their homepage and then just share and raise awareness about accessibility in that way. Another group that conducts a statewide conference has now added an accessibility track so people will learn about accessibility at their conference. Another group hosted a campus-wide panel discussion on accessibility. It was an all-day event. I was invited to attend and speak to the group, and in the afternoon we worked on solutions that were very specific to their university, challenges that they were facing, and it led to them creating accessibility manuals and other content for their faculty and staff to learn about web accessibility requirements. And yet another group established a 508 working committee on their campus that is endorsed by their university president. So to conclude, WAG is about, one, providing training and resources for our members, but two, it's also about what our members do with that knowledge and information within their own circle of influence, their department, their college, or their university. And for me, that is really the true value of WAG, which is making a lasting impact by inspiring others to take action. So that is the end of my section, and my contact information is on the slide, and I will turn it back over to Marlene.
Thank you, Janet and John, both of you. That was really wonderful information. And I know Aaron has queued up a question. I'll turn to Aaron first and then open the floor up to the group to ask other questions. And Aaron, if you're not there right at the minute, if anyone else has other questions, I see you turned your microphone on.
Sorry about that, my audio didn't turn on.
Yeah, there you go.
I was speaking the question and nobody was hearing. My question was about the Braille embossers that you had mentioned earlier. You mentioned that you had some gigantic imported Braille embossers. I was curious, are you finding that you're still doing a lot of embossing, or are more and more users switching to refreshable Braille?
Aaron, that's a great question. The answer will be somewhat anecdotal because I don't know the exact numbers. I know this, you know, I worked at Center for the Visually Impaired here in Atlanta for a number of years, and as you're alluding to, there has been a decrease in hard copy Braille and definitely an increase in refreshable Braille displays, specifically those that sync with iOS so seamlessly. We do have a contract with the National Library Services, and they do make frequent requests for entire books being brailled. So even though that's a really good solution, the Braille comes out much crisper often with those refreshable Braille displays, and doesn't wear down. Refreshable Braille displays are still a very costly solution for some individuals, and it doesn't necessarily provide access on the same level and to the same target audience as it does to individuals who may not be able to afford those more costly Braille displays. But overall, I would say you're exactly right that there is a reduction in hard copy Braille requests across the board. Hope that answered your question.
Great, thanks. And Janet, I'll turn the mic over to you for your question.
Sounds great. So I noticed there's a question, what have you found that motivates faculty to get involved? It's very interesting. Different faculty have, of course, different motivations. A couple of things that we have shared with faculty is that they can include in their tenure process how and why they have included accessibility as an important component, either of what they're teaching or of how they have ensured that their course content is accessible, and it makes their promotion package stand out a little among other faculty. So that's been a great option. We've also provided hands-on training for online teaching faculty in a computer lab. And what we said was bring either your content on a USB drive or come and log into your online course here in the lab, and we will go through step by step. Here are some things that you need to do, and then we'll help you do it. So by the time they leave the training, they haven't just learned what they should do and then try to find time to work in doing it. By the time they leave the actual workshop, they have made content accessible, and they have established new habits and patterns for making future content accessible. And another thing, that when we provide accessibility training, often faculty are not aware that by not making content accessible, that they're giving some students an unfair advantage over students with disabilities. So for example, I worked with a faculty member who used different color-coded highlighting in her Word documents to help students visually find information, understand the important points. And so some pink meant something, and blue meant something, and green meant something. And she never realized that for any student who had low vision or visual impaired would not see that color coding. And so they never were able to benefit from what she was doing for all of the students. And once she realized that, and we made some changes, for example, to use color coding because it's great for some students, but also provide a list of those important points by topic to help all students. Then they understand, wow, I had no idea that I was really giving some students beneficial information over others. And so those are some of the things that we've done. I hope that helps, Janet.
Great, thank you, Janet. We have two Janets here today. Erin, I'll turn the floor back over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just checking before I start talking this time. I was curious about your use of MathML you had talked about a little bit earlier. How are you going about authoring your MathML content? Do you have a particular program that you guys find that you like to use? At the University of Montana, we currently use MathType by Design Science for some MathML content, and we're trying to get a process in place for converting those LaTeX source documents that our math faculty like to create and converting those into HTML plus MathML.
All right, thanks for the question, Aaron. So I am, in this particular topic, I'm moving beyond my level of expertise. However, it sounds like you're fairly knowledgeable about this topic. Aaron, I'd be happy to put you in touch with Desiree White here at AMAC, and have you speak with her directly regarding what they use. And I suspect she would really enjoy that dialogue as well. If you know, if we can learn from each other here and implement the most successful approach possible, we'd be very open to that. But I can certainly send you her email contact information. Would you mind just placing your email in the chat room here, and then I will reach out to both of you after this webinar.
And
Absolutely,
John,
I will do that. Thank you.
I might mention, John, that Erin is our guest speaker next month for the Montana Accessibility Interest Group on math, and she may want to attend that webinar too.
Oh,
So
fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you.
yeah, that would be great. I have a question for you, Janet. Did you find is it difficult to require training for online faculty before they can begin having access to your LMS and teaching online?
Right, and this was, it was not my group, it was a group in our university system at one particular institution, and they had great success with it. I was thrilled, I couldn't believe, but they also had support from all their top level administrators to do that, and I think that made the difference from them. And then another institution who may try to do it, and those folks go back to deans and department heads and who say, and other administrators who say, oh no, you don't have to do it, and it would stop. So I think their top level support for what they were doing is what garnered them success with that.
Great, thank you very much. We've really considered that here at the University of Montana, since that's the main goal of my position, is overseeing the accessibility of the LMS and the content in the LMS. So that's one of my goals. So it was really good to see that there's other examples out there that I can point to when I undertake that effort.
I'm curious what LMS you're using here?
We use Moodle Rooms.
Okay.
And we had an OCR complaint in 2012, and the forums were listed there. So we began working very closely with Moodle Rooms to create an accessible forum, which then spurred on the development of an international Moodle accessibility collaboration group, and we now work with Core Moodle as well as Moodle Rooms on making Core Moodle accessible. So that's been a really great undertaking for us.
And I think another thing that helps faculty get involved is when they teach it as a best practice, not as create all your content. Now let's stop the bus and go back and change everything and make it accessible. So when they're teaching them how to develop an online course, or how to lay out the course, they're bringing accessibility elements in as best practices as they're creating the content. And so that helps them not, quote, have to retrofit and then go back and redo, but to consider it a new habit.
Right. We try and show them that if they use the tools properly within the LMS or within Word or PowerPoint, they save themselves time. So we try and point out the benefits of creating accessible content right from the get-go as we're starting to work with them. The problem is we just don't reach all faculty, and that's why I was very curious about that requirement. So I appreciate knowing that there's an institution in Georgia that is very successful at that.
Right, and several have copied that, and it's really terrific what they're doing. So yeah, it does work. And another thing that we've found is that when we have a faculty member who excels, that we really highlight that among their peers. And so one group that I worked with was the Office of Online Learning at one of the institutions, and they had a faculty member who taught online classes it was an introductory class, so there were thousands of students, and she came to one of my workshops. And while other people were saying, I don't know about doing this, and having a little hesitation, she was sitting there going through her course, making things accessible. Then she went home over the weekend, made everything in her course accessible, and came back, and Monday was ready to teach. And so then they highlighted her in their efforts and said, this can be done. And so to use that as a peer who's doing the work, it's not somebody who's not a faculty member trying to explain why they should do it. It was one of their peers saying how she did it was very effective for them as well.
Right. Yeah, we really find too having other faculty speak up is really critical. It has to come from the ranks, I think. Thank you. Thank you both for all of that wonderful information. We are 8 minutes past the hour. I hate to keep you any longer. Kathy, thank you, standing ovations. I will definitely be using all of these resources. Ditto on that, Kathy. Janet and John, you shared so many resources that are openly available to us. So I really, really appreciate that. I'm going to be jumping on your lists and into your MOOC and gathering lots of information from your work there. And
Excellent.
Aaron says, indeed, thank you so much. I especially look forward to checking out your MOOC.
Great. And Aaron, if you just Google ICT accessibility within edX, edX.org, you'll find us very, very quickly. Aaron, I just sent you and Desiree an email as well connecting the two of you, so she'll certainly be more qualified to answer your questions regarding that MathML than I am.
All right, well, thank you again, John and Janet. We look forward to staying in touch with your work there in Georgia. I'm very appreciative of your time today. So thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Great.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you all for attending. Have a good Friday.
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.